You're listening to the Dennis Prager Show, the Ultimate Issues Hour. In fact, every week at this time, I spend this hour on some great issue of life. That's why I call it the Ultimate Issues Hour. And this time I have a guest. He's Christopher Hitchens, and his book, God is Not Great, How Religion Poisons Everything. One of a number of books now being published against religion and against belief in God. And that is an interesting phenomenon unto itself. But I want to get back to an argument, which I don't believe. I would never write how secularism poisons everything, and I am deeply religious. But I would argue that without God and religion, the Western world is doomed to extinction. And I offer you Western Europe. It doesn't reproduce. It doesn't stand for anything that I know of. It didn't stand for anything in the Cold War. The United States, the religious America did. Secular Europe has hardly been a bastion of moral strength. And as I said, they don't even repopulate themselves.
Well, I think you're wrong on all those counts. Secular Europe is highly civilized place. It's where I'm originally from.
People treat each other in a very civilized manner. I couldn't agree more.
They certainly do. And its standards of education and culture and exemplary. It draws people from all over the world to it for good reasons. One of its achievements has been certainly to be able to limit population, but I know there's a case for which Mark Stein has most recently made, and I reviewed his book, for pointing out that in some countries, notably of all places Italy, population is falling below replacement. Not France, for example.
Germany it is.
Where there's a lot of encouragement from the government for people to have children. In Germany, yes. And actually, surprisingly, in Poland, you'll notice there's a paradox here, or there's an apparent one. It seems that the more Catholic the country, the more the crisis prevails. And I think that must be because
it may well be a reaction.
For so long, the church made it impossible to have a rational discussion of contraception and abortion.
Well, with putting aside the rational question, it probably is Spain is another example.
Yes.
All right, that's fair enough, but it doesn't negate my point that and on the larger moral issues, the secular world was incapable overwhelmingly. There are exceptions like you, but there are very few. The secular world was incapable of saying that something evil was evil, and I'm speaking about the Soviet Union when President Reagan called it an evil empire. The religious West said yes, and the secular West said that this was nonsense. You can't call them evil.
No, that's not true, because, for example, one of the people who most loudly applauded that statement was Václav Havel, the extremely secular leader.
Yeah, he was a Czech dissident. He was because he was wait. That you can't use him. He's Eastern Europe. I'm talking Western Europe.
Well, I would certainly put Prague squarely in the center of the European.
Not at the time the thing was said. It was Eastern Europe run by the Soviets.
There was a big disagreement even within the Republican Party about the wisdom of Mr. Reagan saying that, because he had alarmed people in other ways by saying things like his looking forward to the end of days, his ruminations and musings on Armageddon, his friendship with clowns and charlatans and crooks like Jerry Falwell.
Well, I don't think he was a charlatan and a crook. That's not fair.
His public casting of doubt on evolution, everything that Reagan said that sounded religious, used to make people take alarm, including myself, who didn't disagree at all with the characterization of the Soviet Union. You have to remember the context of these things.
Yes, but
and the people who really fought against. I mean, if you talk about someone like Willy Brandt, for example, the socialist mayor of Berlin, who was Kennedy's host when he made that hypocritical speech, saying he was a Berliner before actually allowing the city to be partitioned by the Soviet Union.
Wait, the city was
having just allowed it, not before, having just allowed it to be.
No, it was partitioned at the end of World War II.
People like Willy Brandt and the leaders of the democratic left in Western Europe, they fought against the Stalinists much harder than anyone in the United States ever had to do.
Well, that's
not a matter of fact.
Well, that
simply a matter of fact.
Well, I don't believe it's a matter of fact. I don't think it's a matter of record. In any event, the issue was not Stalinism here; it was Brezhnevism. Stalin died in 1953. And so we're talking.
Well,
you're talking 30.
I'm giving the ideology a name.
Yes.
Brezhnevism is fine. Brezhnevism is absolutely fine if you would prefer that.
Yes, but I don't know. The left didn't fight Brezhnevism. That was fought by the right. Well, we'll be back in a moment. God is Not Great is the book. I'm Dennis Prager.